Hello and welcome, this is Roy at Ninjazola90, and today, instead of doing my usual figure reviews, I decided to do a review video on some newer third-party N64 controllers that I have, and explain to you their pros and cons, and which one of these I think is better. So without further ado, let's get on with this review. And now, starting things off with what they call the Hyperkin Admiral controller. As you can see, this is made quite a bit different from your regular style N64 controller. It does have its fair share of pros and cons. One of the main advantages you have with this controller, just like all the newer third-party N64 controllers I'm going to be showing you today, you do have, instead of your regular old, plastic N64 thumbstick that wears out fairly easily over time, you have more of a GameCube style thumbstick here. Except the neck on it is a bit skinnier, as you can see, but it's still very useful nonetheless. The D-pad is okay, but I wouldn't say this is the most responsive D-pad that you can get on an N64 controller. It's okay, it's going to get the job done for most games, but for like certain fighting games, for like Killer Instinct Gold and stuff like that, and you're going to have trouble pulling off some special moves, but it's an okay D-pad. Of course, you have your start button here. You have A and B right here, and of course you have your C buttons right here. Down C, left C, right C, up C. You have R and L right here, and you do have two Z triggers. So, I mean, both of these buttons do the exact same thing, so it doesn't matter what Z trigger you press. And of course, I mean, you have your slot for your memory cards and your rumble packs and all that good stuff. So that's that. And of course, this is by Hyperkin. And if I have to give this one a score, I would give it at least 4 out of 5 stars. If it wasn't for the D-pad, having trouble with certain games, I would give it a higher score. But 4 out of 5 stars, it's a good choice. But yeah, D-pad is really where it falls off for me. The next one I'll be bringing up is the Retrobit Tribute controller. Now, as you can see, this is very similar to the Hori Minipad Pro, which was only sold in Japan, and those are super expensive. You could get these for like leagues cheaper, for like $20-25 a piece, which is basically, I would say, like the amount of money like all of these controllers cost that I'm going to be reviewing. Now, I would say like the only downside to this controller is the location of the D-pad, but despite that, the D-pad actually works surprisingly well. I was just using this one and putting it to the test on my N64 with some Killer Instinct Gold, and it works. It's working better than what I thought it was, because I did go to the Hyperkin Captain, which I'm going to be reviewing next. Of course, you do have a GameCube style thumbstick here as well, very similar to a thumbstick you would find on an actual GameCube controller, although the actual GameCube thumbstick is a tad bit smaller, well, on this controller anyway. But as you can see, you do have a very strong similarity to that, and of course you have your typical A and B. You have your C buttons, down C, left C, right C, up C. You have your typical L and R right here. 2 Z triggers, just like on the Hyperkin Admiral. And of course, you do have your slot for your memory cards and your rumble packs. If I have to give this one a score, I would have to give it 5 out of 5 stars. Although the location of the D-pad feels a bit funny, it is very useful and responsive. Although, like, your fingers are going to feel a bit crammed, it does work really, really well. Despite that, I might actually use this one on my PC with Project 64, because I am getting a N64 controller USB adapter, so I'm probably going to use this one on my PC, because on my actual N64 that, yeah, I use my EverDrive 64 for, so I have every N64 game ever created, both Japanese and American, loaded onto this, plus some NES games, because it does have a built-in NES emulator on it. Although, like, you can't, like, use any game, play any. Although, like, you can't save any games that require, like, NES games that require battery saves. It still works. But there's certain NES games that just don't work with the EverDrive 64. But I do have an EverDrive N8 on top of that. But anyway, getting back to controllers, and of course the last but not least controller that I will be reviewing is the one I use the most, and I would have to say that this is most likely the very best out of the 3. Although I know you would probably say you might want to go with this one, because you don't have to jump around your hand from one handle to the other if you want to use the D-pad or the thumbstick. I get that. Like I said, the only problem with this one is, some games your fingers are going to, well, your thumbs are going to feel a bit crammed because of the location of the D-pad. Well, this controller, this Hyperkin controller, this is the Hyperkin Captain, is actually leagues better than the Admiral, especially in the area of the D-pad, because this D-pad is very responsive. And then, as you can see, this one is made very similar in the same style, I would say, as the original N64 controller, because you see you have your 3-handle design right here, so you can go from the D-pad to the thumbstick and back again, like so. As you can see, it's a very pretty gold one, except for right here where I accidentally dropped it on the floor, but that's nothing. It's still functional. It works really, really well. Of course, you have your GameCube style thumbstick right here, built strong to last long, very similar to thumbstick you would find on a GameCube controller. Really, really appreciate these thumbsticks. That is a much appreciated improvement. I can tell you that for a fact. And of course, like I said, very, very, very responsive D-pad on this one. Of course, you have your Hyperkin logo engraved at the very top center of the controller. And of course, you have that sort of like signature Hyperkin design going on at the top of the controller. Of course, you have your A and B, you have your C arrow buttons, you have down C, right C, left C, up C. Of course, you have your L and R, which is really good. They feel really clicky and responsive. And of course, you have your Z trigger in the location where it usually is on your regular Nintendo official N64 controllers. And of course, you have your slot for your memory cards and rumble packs. And in case you guys are wondering what this is, I had to really look these up on eBay because I wanted one. Basically, what this is a rumble pack. It's basically a memory card rumble pack combo. You basically this is like, it's a rumble pack that you put that has a memory card slot. So if you want to use your memory card and rumble pack without having to swap them out, this is what this is for. All you have to do is, if you want to use your memory card, is toggle this switch right here, and it'll go to your memory card. If you go to save and you toggle it back to go to Rumble, and of course I have my 4-in-1 memory card right here, which most likely need to get new batteries for. And in case you're wondering, yeah, you can do an absolutely silly thing with this, and you can daisy chain 2 rumble packs. And if you have like a bunch of these, you could daisy chain a bunch of them together if you would want to, although it would make no sense. But yeah, it's still possible. It took me a while to find these on eBay, but I found them. They're not super expensive, but they're just really hard to find. But anyway, that pretty much concludes my review for my collection of newer third-party N64 controllers. And if I have to give this one a rating, I have to give this one a definite 5 out of 5 stars as well. This one also has 5 out of 5 stars, but I would have to say, as far as, you know, as accuracy and having the best D-pad, I would have to say the Captain is the better controller out of the 3. But if you prefer something where you're not jumping your hand from one handle to the other, then you might want to go with the Retrobit Tribute controller. But I mean, it's basically up to personal preference between the two. But I would say like the most like useful and the most comfortable out of these two controllers would be this one. This one is also a really good contender, but however, yeah, Hyperkin really needs to do a better job in the area of the D-pad with this controller. If it wasn't like for the D-pad being like in this like, you know, concave, you know, sort of like circle design, I think would have been yeah, a much better choice. And I think, yeah, that's what really, you know, kind of where it falls apart for me. But it's still a really good controller nonetheless. But the best of the best, I would say, would be the Hyperkin Captain. You could get for like all of these controllers for, I would say, for like around the same price. You know, from like, I would say like 25, maybe like 27 at the most. I know 30 would be kind of pushing it, but I would say they're fairly affordable and really good options. You could find these on eBay. Like stores like Castlemania Games, I believe, carries them. Also, I would say check StoneAgeGamer.com for these. Because they do have plenty of accessories and peripherals and everything for your retro consoles as well. But anyway, guys, this pretty much concludes this review. As always, thank you guys for your time. Thanks for watching. Your viewership is much appreciated. And that's about it. So, take care, stay safe. God bless, and peace out.